First up, we have the trend that's causing quite a stir: maximalism. It's all about a bold style that simply cannot be ignored. It's design concept that throws caution to the wind, embracing a rich and vibrant mix of patterns, textures, and colors. Many might think of it as an audacious celebration of excess. It's a style that isn't afraid of juxtaposing wildly different elements, creating an eclectic mix that's both playful and daring. It's a daring aesthetic, born out of a desire to push boundaries and challenge conventions. Yet this trend is not without its critics. Detractors argue that maximalism, with its penchant for excess, can easily tip into a state of clutter. Thin line between a room full of meticulously curated items and one that simply feels overwhelming or haphazard. Critics assert that this style, if not executed perfectly, can make spaces feel more chaotic than curated. Staying close on the heels of our journey, we witness the resurgence of a classic, a timeless appeal that never fades: vintage styling. This isn't about just an old piece of furniture or worn-out clothing. It's about more than that. It's about embracing the charm of the bygone eras. It's about the antique furniture that tells a story of its time, the old-world accessories that hold a certain allure, and most importantly, it's about creating a nostalgic atmosphere that takes us back in time. Every piece of vintage styling tells a tale of a world that once existed. When adorned appropriately, these pieces of history can transform a modern space into a timeless spectacle. However, some critics argue that too much reliance on vintage can make a space feel dated rather than stylish. They believe that striking a balance between old-world charm and modern aesthetics is the key to achieving the perfect end of the day. It largely depends upon the person who is orchestrating the design. So as we delve deeper into the world of vintage styling, it's essential to remember that the true allure lies not in the age of the pieces, but in the stories they tell. Some critics believe that too much vintage can make a space feel dated. Rather, next on the list is the biophilic design. This particular design philosophy deeply resonates with intrinsic human need to connect with nature, and attempts to seamlessly merge the organic, natural world with our man-made, often sterile environments. The central premise of biophilic design revolves around the integration of natural elements like plants, water, sunlight, and natural textures into our surroundings to foster a sense of connection and well-being. Despite the numerous psychological and physical benefits associated with this design approach, such as improved stress and enhanced creativity, the key is to strike a balance. Too many natural elements may give a space a rather unpolished, rustic feel, instead of the intended soothing, harmonious aesthetic. Balance is crucial to avoid rustic feel. Making its way onto our distinguished list of top trends is this remarkable design approach. This trend is all about using the power of contrast to breathe life into otherwise ordinary spaces. By juxtaposing different visual elements, it creates a dynamic interplay that can transform the overall ambience of an area. The fusion of light and dark, old and new, rough and smooth, can result in dramatic, vibrant spaces that evoke a strong emotional response. It's an innovative way to inject vitality, making them unique reflections of your personality. However, it's crucial to mention that this trend, while compelling, has its challenges. The art of balancing contrasting requires a keen aesthetic sense and a firm grasp of design principles. The contrasting elements need to be coordinated delicately and thoughtfully to ensure harmony and coherence. Without careful planning and execution, the design can quickly become overwhelming, overshadowing the beauty of individual elements. It can result in a chaotic visual spectacle that is more disorienting than beautiful. It becomes complex and difficult to coordinate with other elements in the room. Lastly, we have the open floor plan, a modern design concept that allows for a spacious, free-flowing, and interconnected space between the living, dining, and kitchen areas. This design, popular in contemporary homes, encourages a sense of togetherness and socializing among family members or visitors. It allows for more natural light entry, creating a warm and inviting environment. However, this layout isn't without drawbacks, lacks in providing secluded spaces, compromising privacy. Additionally, the absence of walls or barriers makes noise control a challenging aspect. It promotes but lacks privacy and noise control. In summary, the world of interior design is buzzing with trends that are as diverse as they are controversial. This dynamic world is ever-changing, evolving, and developing by the minute. It's an exciting space where creativity thrives, ideas flow like rivers, and traditions and norms are continuously challenged and redefined. Consider, for instance, the trend of maximalism. This is a trend that celebrates richness, extravagance, and the bold use of color and texture. It is the very antithesis of restraint and moderation. It defies the notion of less is more and instead bravely declares that more is more. It encourages us to revel in the opulence of elaborate patterns, eclectic furnishings, and a riot of colors. In stark contrast, there's the trend of minimalism. A complete 180 degrees flip from maximalism. Minimalism is all about simplicity, functionality, and the beauty of empty spaces. It is about appreciating the understated, the subtle, and the quiet. It is about focusing on the essentials and eliminating the unnecessary. Then you also have vintage styling, a trend that allows us to take a delightful trip down memory lane. This trend is about celebrating the charm and elegance of the past, about incorporating antique furniture, vintage artifacts, and nostalgic elements that bring a unique character and depth to our spaces. Next, we have the biophilic design trend. This is about integrating nature into our indoor spaces, about creating a seamless connection between the indoors and outdoors. It's about using natural materials, incorporating plants, and using design elements that mimic nature to create a tranquil, calming space. All these trends challenge us to think outside the box, to experiment, and to create spaces that are not just aesthetically pleasing, but also, next time you're considering a home makeover, remember, design isn't merely about following the latest trends. It's about reflecting your individuality and personal style. Keep in mind that trends come and go, but your home is a constant, a tangible representation of your life and stories. It's the place where your day begins and ends, a sanctuary that is uniquely yours. Therefore, not let fleeting trends dictate the core of your home. Let your personality shine through the corner of every room. Remember, your home is your blank canvas, a space that can be transformed into a beautiful masterpiece. So fill it with colors, patterns, and objects that resonate with your taste and make it